Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or welcome to the channel if you are brand new here. Thank you so much for joining me today for day 3 of what I call Yuletide Peace Week 2024. And to celebrate the season, our reading topic today is all about a message that will bring you serenity. So if you've been looking for some relief from a stress recently, something to put a smile on your face, this is the perfect reading for you. Okay, so let's begin the reading by picking our pile leaders to choose our piles with. Okay, so for pile number 1 today, your card is 51, Bounty. There we go. For pile number 2 here in the middle, I'm drawn to this one towards the front, we have number 43, Charity. And last but not least, for our pile 3 over here on the right, we have number 20, Work. So, quick refresher, pile 1 is Bounty, pile 2 is Charity, and pile 3 is Work. So, feel free to pause on this part of the reading if you need more time to decide what pile draws you in the most. I always just recommend go with your first gut instinct. But when you are ready, drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the video, find the timestamp there for your pile, and I'll see you in our little chat about the important message that will bring you serenity today. See you there. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a message that will bring you serenity. As I recall, the pile leader you chose was number 51, Bounty from Runner Guides. And so right off the bat, I'm feeling that part of this message of serenity that's supposed to bring you peace from your spirit guides is they want to invoke the feeling of, I almost want to say that maybe recently in your life you've been finding there's been a lack of some sort or like a loss in some way. And what they're saying is that there's a part of them that's like reassuring you that this is going to be fixed soon. This is going to be mended in a way that maybe you don't expect. Now, we will glean more details with more cards, but I just wanted to say right off the bat, that's what I'm hearing. Like, it's almost after a time of, they're showing me winter, and we think of winter as the season of, like a lack of something because nothing is really growing technically, right? Versus the time of spring, okay? And so this message is all about a spring in your life coming soon after that cold, metaphorical winter, okay? And like I said, yeah, we'll glean more details as to what specifically that is, but it just speaks to me of a time of more blessings and a time of more abundance coming. So we'll set your pile leader over here to the left to begin. And then let's draw your other 2 oracle cards. So right off the bat, let's do your surrender deck. So spirit guides coming forward for pile 1 today. Could you please guide us to the correct surrender card to explain more about like what this bounty is, what's going on, what's coming that will fix a lack in their life. Drawn to this one. We have, oh beautiful, surrender worry, and I'll read this off at the bottom here. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body, focus on the power of your heart, and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. So especially pile 1, if you've been really extra worried about something recently, maybe it's even been keeping you up at night, maybe you've just kind of been spending a lot of your mental brain power lately worrying about, oh God, I hope this thing gets fixed, I hope this particular issue in my life kind of comes to a close soon. Whatever has been kind of making you anxious, this is an indicator from your spirit guides that this is the bounty coming that's going to fix whatever has been worrying you in this particular area of your life. And then we have one more oracle card to draw as well to kind of glean final details. And then we will draw some more tarot cards too, of course. But actually, I'm going to put this one up here. So far, a very, very positive reading, pile 1. Very beautiful reading. See what Nature's Whispers has to say as well. Okay. Oh, fresh approach number 21. Okay, so pile 1, which is funny. You have a lot of ones in the numerology of your cards. You have 51 over here, and you have 21 here, and then you literally are pile 1, right? What I'm hearing is that part of the reason this bounty comes about, this fix to whatever has been worrying you, is because you tackle something in a new way, or whoever is involved that has power over fixing this tackles it in a new way. If it's something, for example, like out of your control, okay? Because fresh approach means to me, like, kind of what it says on the tin. Someone coming to something with a new idea or looking at it from a different angle in a completely different manner that will help break through blockages that have been there before, okay? And of course, part of what I want to focus on when I do draw your tarot cards here in a moment is how that comes about, because I think that's the key with a tarot reading, is for you to walk away with the clarity of how exactly does this get fixed, because like I said, it's one thing for me to say, hey, it's going to be fine, right? But specificity is key. But as far as what I'm intuitively hearing based on just your oracle cards so far, yes, things are going to get fixed in that area. It's going to be that bounty of spring after the winter, as I said before, because of a fresh approach. And even fresh approach itself makes me think of spring, because it almost, is it like cold over here in this card? I don't know if it's like winter. It looks more just like an oceanscape, but it's a little bit like more blue and barren on this side. And on this side, of course, as you can see, it's very lush and very green. We have waterfalls and animals and nature growing off of her body. And so it's like, finally, even back here in this card, we have like the clouds unveiling from the moon. It's like confusion moving away. I think part of the reason maybe why you've been having this issue is because of a lack of information as well. That can also cause a lot of worry in our lives when we're kind of waddling about in unknowns. That causes anxiety, that causes us to fret. And so part of the bounty, I think, is also just information in general about something that will come forward and help you tackle this in a new way, or at least will spur on that energetic change towards whoever's in control of the situation, be it you or someone else that has the power, right, to finally fix whatever this is. Okay. Very, very beautiful reading so far, pile 1. And 2, because of the, there's a lot of green in this reading. We have green not only in bounty, lots of green in the fresh approach, and even this is kind of tinted like blue-green up here. And that makes me think of the heart chakra, because that is the color of the heart chakra, right, is green. So I think of also a time of healing, okay? Healing from something. Maybe there's been pain associated with this particular issue as well. I also think of like heart fulfillment. So it could be something to do with a dream that you've been trying to have like come off the ground or pursue. And so you've been kind of waiting back on either like feedback from someone that has control over the situation, and you've been worrying like, how are they going to respond? Or it could be that like you're almost kind of just like waiting for the universe to align to kind of just break through whatever this worry has been, okay? And that is what is clearing for me, that I'm seeing for you, okay? So very beautiful, like I said. Let's draw your tarot cards. We have the Yuletide Tarot today. I've been using this completely every single reading this week because it's very fitting for this time of year, right? So, Spirit, coming forward for my lovely pile 1, could you please give me around 5 tarot cards that explains the story here? Thank you. What's going on? Oh boy. Lots of cards just wanting to fly out. So first we have Justice reversed. Okay. Literally it's a boy looking, well, he's getting a lump of coal, but reversed, it's, Justice reversed means something is unfair. So pile 1, it almost seems like the very inciting incident of what's been going on is something that was unfair to you. Like, it really wasn't supposed to occur the way that it did, or like someone was, I don't know if like someone tried to screw you over, or there's some sort of unfairness here that started everything. So I think the lack that you've been experiencing isn't really necessarily your fault, pile 1. It seems more like it's just like something unfair happened to you. And you've been kind of like worrying about like, okay, when is this fairness going to write back in my favor the way it's supposed to be? Okay. Because that's the energy of justice reversed. It's like things happening outside of our control that aren't just to us. Okay. And then next up we have the King of Pentacles reversed. Okay, that can indicate that maybe this is related to money because the gifts are, well, they're pentacles in the traditional tarot. And that is all about like material goods and finances, things like that, even career maybe. So it could be like related to a job or maybe like your finances in general. And this can even indicate that part of what has been unfair is that there was someone involved who had control over the money as a king, right? Who was not either doling it out fairly or unwisely, okay? Because of the reversed energy of this particular King of Pentacles. So let's draw the next card to get more details. And then, yeah, okay. So the main card in the middle, I call this the heart of the matter when I read it, this spread, is the Ten of Cups reversed, pile 1. And that is, I mean, upright, it's a great thing. I mean, look at it. It's a couple. They're having a grand old time. There's mistletoe over their head. There's kids having fun in the background with a snowman. But so typically it provokes an image of happily ever after. Things are going great. But reversed is the heart of the matter, the way that it came up for you. Something has not been happily ever after. So I do see like the pain that you've been going through, pile 1. This is very obvious with everything going, coming out so far the way that it has. Yeah, just something unfair to you, especially in realms of career or finance. Perhaps even sometimes the King of Pentacles can indicate like a masculine figure since it's a king. Okay. A lack of control over finances or something out of your hands, unfair. And then we have, yeah, just a lack of happily ever after with this. Like things are just not going your way. And it just, I'm so sorry, pile 1. That just does not look fun. I'm going to just take a drink of my tea here really quick. But I actually have a Christmas themed cup. You can't see it, but it says cup of cheer at the front. So, yeah, let's draw the next card. We have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so that's actually a very, very good sign. And then let me draw the very last card just to get some context here. So I'm drawn to this one. We have Temperance reversed. Yeah, so things have just been really out of balance, pile 1. Really out of balance. We see that not just with justice reversed as the inciting incident of everything going on with the unfairness that we spoke about, but we also see that right now as kind of the path that you're on. Like things are just completely out of whack. That's what temperance reversed means, or, well, balance is this particular version of it. Things are not fair. Things are just not going well. But the good news is that I see you right here with the Knight of, well, candy canes, but swords effectively. Taking action with your mind. I think that's part of that worry energy that's been coming forward because a Knight of Swords is somebody who takes action with their thinking or with the way that they communicate, okay? Maybe you've even been reaching out for help on this. Maybe you've been kind of really trying to strategize. That's another really good term associated with the Knight of Swords. And 2, he also speaks of quickness, like trying to get something done very fast, almost as quick as the air, which is the element of the suit of the swords in tarot, okay? So I see you, pile 1. I see you working really hard. I understand. And I think part of that fresh approach that's going to fix this is you continuing that energy of the Knight of Swords. But I think there's a little bit more that needs to be done. And I'm going to draw some extra cards on that to bring you some advice on bringing forward that bounty with the fresh approach, more than just the Knight of Swords type energy that's coming forward. So let's draw some cards on that, pile 1. Spirit coming forward for my lovely pile 1. Could you tell me with maybe around 3 cards, how do they get that bounty? How do they fix this? And then also too, with the Temperance reversed here as the outcome, how do they rectify that? Thank you. Okay. Part of the whole deck just wanted to flip over and is like, well, I can't take 20 cards, but. So first up we have the 6 of Cups. Okay, so that sometimes speaks of childhood, nostalgia, going back to the past. Sometimes it also speaks of siblings specifically. I don't know if there's someone in your family that's involved that could help you, or relying on family or a sibling of some sort. We have the Moon, illusions. Things are not what they seem. Very interesting. Let's draw the last card to get more context before I speak on that. And then we have the 8 of Swords reversed. Yeah, look at that mental anxiety. Okay, so pile 1. the key to fixing this and bringing in that bounty, that to fix the thing that has been worrying you, right? Not only the fresh approach thing, keep doing what you're doing when it comes to strategizing, and then maybe also reaching out to people. But what they're saying is, look at people from your past with the Six of Cups, okay? Look at, say, siblings, look at family, look at friends from the past, okay? They might be able to offer you either an idea that will bring forth that fresh approach that'll help you get out of whatever this rut is, okay? Or they might be able to at least offer some help in terms of, and it's very interesting because with the moon being next to it, the moon is all about illusions, pile one. So I think what they offer to you is a realization of something being not really what it seems, okay? They'll provide some sort of emotional logic that will say, hey, I think you're looking at this maybe in the wrong way. Good on you for with that Knight of Swords, right? You're trying to take action and fix things. And spirit guides are commending you for that, pile one. But at the same time, they're saying some other energy from the past might be involved here, or need to be involved, I should say, to help unveil the illusion of something, and then bam, we have the Eight of Swords reversed, which is releasing ourselves from a mental prison, especially when it comes to worry, okay? Surrender worry. That was what we had before. So what I'm hearing is that after that fresh approach is taken by you to talk to this person from the past, most likely family, they'll unveil something not for being what it seems. And that will free you from the issue, okay, with that Eight of Swords reversed here. And that will fix that Temperance reverse as the outcome and flip it right side up. So you're on the right path, pile one. So very, very good job so far. It's not something that was your fault, okay? It's not out of your own, like, lack of logical ability to get out of whatever the issue is, right? Or to try to get to the place that you're trying to go, or your goal. It's just that sometimes we need just a little bit of a nudge from outside help to see things in a different way, to free us from the things that are worrying us. Okay. So that is your message of serenity today, pile one. Hopefully that did bring you some serenity and peace, for me to be able to tell you, hey, this is how you bring this thing that's been kind of plaguing your mind a little bit, making you worry. This is how you fix it, right? And that's what your spirit guides wanted to help you with today. So if you liked the reading, if it resonated with you, please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile one, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Toodaloo. Hello there, my lovely pile 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about an important message that will bring you serenity. As you recall, your pile leader you chose was number 43, Charity, with Nature Spirits. So what I'm really being drawn to intuitively first for you, pile 2, is it seems like part of the serenity coming your way is something in the form of a gift. We have the hands here, offering an abundance down into the hands of this figure with her palms open to receive, right? And something new and something very healthy like this flower here is growing out of it. So like I said, it really just speaks to me of a gift coming your way that you're maybe not expecting. And maybe it could even be a gift that is like a solution to a problem that you have been having is what I'm feeling. So we will, of course, gain more clarity with the other cards. So let's draw your other oracle cards just to begin the reading here, pile 2. Actually, I'm going to set this one down here, just over next to the holly berries. And let's begin, actually, with your surrender cards. So, Spirit, coming forward to pile 2 today, could you please guide us to the right cards that will explain more about what seems to be like a gift coming that will bring them serenity or peace? Okay, feeling this one right here. We have, oh, beautiful, surrender, fear. That is always a fantastic message to get, right, pile 2? So I'll read the bottom here. It says, let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Okay, so part of this gift, pile 2, is the letting go of something that maybe you've been afraid of. Okay, now that can go from maybe even something that's like you're afraid of from yourself, like maybe something that you feel like a lack of self-esteem towards, or maybe you fear that something is going to go wrong or that it did and you're just like waiting to hear back on it, something to that extent. But whatever it is, pile 2, this gift will relieve your anxiety and your fear surrounding whatever it is. Okay. And then last but not least, for the oracle cards, we'll have the Nature's Whispers deck. Let's see what pops out here. I'm actually going to do another shuffle because that was not like my best shuffle in the world. Let's do that again. Definitely this one. So we have number 3, interesting, celebrate differences. We do have the repetition of 3 here with 43 and 3 in this card. Celebrate differences. So I almost wonder, pile 2, if part of this fear is with someone that you feel is very opposite to you, or you feel that they're going to oppose you. Because we think of the dichotomy between, I'll just hold up the card here. There's 2 figures, right? We have someone on the back of a unicorn, it looks like, and someone on the back of a dolphin. And they come from 2 very different worlds. We have from the ocean, and then actually it looks like more like a Pegasus because it does have wings. So ocean and ground, and then like air and sky. Okay. Very, very different. And it seems like maybe like they wouldn't be the typical sort to get along because they're just from very, very different worlds. So I think the gift here is surrounding, like letting go of the fear, or something will come forward to alleviate the fear of what you think will be like a bad relationship with this person, or like the 2 of you getting into an argument of some sort, or some sort of conflict that you fear has come up, or you fear like maybe you did argue and it like completely ruined a relationship of some sort, but actually it's going to turn out a lot better than you expect is what I'm hearing. Okay. So this reading seems to be more of like a gift of social harmony between you and someone else. Okay. 2, I think maybe part of it is, I don't know if there was like a conflict over receiving or giving something. Like maybe someone was offended by what someone gave them or didn't give them, or it seems like, what's another way of putting that? Or you fear that they're not going to accept something along those lines, pile 2. Whatever it is that you fear with this person that seems so different from you, or you fear that like they're going to be completely opposite of you or opposed to whatever that you're like proposing. Okay. Yeah. But what it really is an invocation to harmony, pile 2. Like opposites attract, or like this is going to go a lot better than you're actually thinking. In fact, I think the other person is going to be a lot more grateful than you're expecting, too. It's almost like a lack of communication has caused the fear, because part of what causes fear, pile 2, is the lack of info. It's the fear of the unknown, really, and I think that's what's driving this, is the fear of not knowing exactly how something went down or how it will go down, if this is more future tense for you. But yeah, it's going to go down just fine. So let us draw some tarot cards now to glean more of the actual details of the story. So Spirit, could you give me around 5 cards that explains more about that, please? Thank you. What's the story? What's going on here? Definitely this one is the first. So we have the Page of Pentacles, or gifts in this particular very holiday-themed deck, right? Fitting for the season. So the Page of Pentacles is someone who is either young or is new to something, especially in terms of the realm of finance or career, okay? They can be someone who is very studious and responsible with their career, or the things like the skills that they have to learn with their particular job. They can also be someone that is like youthful when it comes to working with finances, okay? So I think of like a college student, or I think of someone who is maybe new to a certain career. Maybe they just started at like your job, or maybe you just started there and you kind of want to have like a good reception, okay? Could be that Page of Pentacles is actually you, pile 2. Apologies, one moment. I am going to just take a sip of my tea. My voice has been a little scratchy today. It's perfect for the season, right? We all get kind of sick sometimes here during the cold months. With my very holiday-themed mug, it says, you can't see it, but it says a cup of cheer on the side. It's very, very cute. So going on to your second card, we have the Child or the Fool reversed. Okay, so yeah, I think part of it too is a new journey, or something new that was like attempted, but it didn't go the way you expected, or that's like what you're fearing, is that, oh no, I took too much of a risk. Okay, because the Fool reverse is all about like, yes, starting something new, but be wary of the risks of something. Yeah, especially with the newness of the page too, because the page is also youthful energy. And then in the very middle, we have the Krampus, which is the devil, as it's known in most decks. And that is all about, well, it looks quite wicked, right? It looks a little scary, but this being the core of the matter is what I call the middle card. It's like being held back by something, being stuck with something, being almost like chained or bound in some way. I'm going to grab the next card to get more context on that, because that can be quite... okay, so the Ace of Wands, or the candles. Yeah, I wonder... I think you're very focused, and this is where the fear is coming in, to a fear of a future lack of opportunities when it comes to your passion in this area. Okay. And then we have the Two of Swords. Okay, as the end, the option at the end is the, yeah, so it's a choice. Okay. So pile 2, I think part of your problem with this particular person that we talked about with Celebrate Differences here is, I almost think that you fear, or they fear, one of the people involved in this situation fears that they came off as like stupid or like a fool, because we have the Page of Pentacles, which is someone who actually is very dutiful, and they're like intelligent, and they're especially very responsible in terms of like finances and career, okay, especially upright. Like that's a very, very good sign, pile 2. But at the same time, then we had the Fool reversed as the next card over here on the left, and that makes me think of someone as like, oh no, I took a risk. And now it's like your fear of the way that you came off, or like the way that they came off in some way. I think it's you, pile 2, because we did talk about with surrender fear, so I'll just refer to it as you going forward in the reading. You feared that like you came off in like a bad way, or kind of foolish or risky with the Fool reversed. And then in the very middle with the Devil card, it's like, I almost see this as like you being bound to the mindset of, oh, I screwed up. And I think that's what you're really fearing. It's almost the monster of the shadow of your own making, rather than it actually being the true reality of what happened between you and this person, or like if this is future tense, what will happen. Like you fear it's going to be worse than it actually will be, or that it actually was, okay? And then we have the Ace of Wands and the Two of Swords here. So that tells me that on the path you're on right now, pile 2, you fear that you're not going to get another opportunity with this person or this situation. But the Ace of Wands is like a new spark of something, like literally like sparking a candle, in terms of our passions and our willpower and our drive, okay? So look for opportunities with this person in the future. Don't immediately like avoid them just because you fear that maybe there was a mistake made, because I think they're going to be a lot more receptive, and like we talked about before, like being in harmony with Celebrate Differences, more receptive to you than you expect, because even if you think you messed up before, honestly, I don't think you actually did, or at least not in their mind, pile 2, or they're not going to be as hard on you as you think they were, especially because the Page of Pentacles having been the first card, that almost tells me that like they viewed you more from the understanding of, oh, maybe they're kind of new to this, or they're learning, right? Because pages are also like apprentices, they're students, they're people that are new to things, they're learning and they're exploring. Really, I love when tarot cards call, or certain decks call pages explorers. That's more what they're like, or students, right? So that's more of how you actually came off. And then I think there's going to be an offer of a choice here at the very end, because this is the outcome card with the Two of Swords. A choice. They're going to offer you a choice of some sort. So that could be a new opportunity, because also the ace right next to it speaks of like a new opportunity in some area regarding, especially because it's wands, a new opportunity in your passions, okay? And the ability to make a choice. So like maybe say you did a job interview and you really feared that you just went to crap and you thought you did really bad, pile 2. I have a feeling that you're actually going to be given a choice to actually take the job. Okay, they're going to offer it to you, right? Or for another example, for some of you, this might apply in the way of like maybe you were trying to make a new friend, or maybe this was like a romantic partner that you were interested in. Maybe you like had dated them, or went on a date, I should say. And you're like, oh God, I completely screwed up. They thought I took too much of a risk. I think you're actually going to be offered more opportunity in this area in the future. Say, maybe they'll say, let's go on another date, and then you have that choice to make. Something along those lines, pile 2. So really, what you thought was too much of being opposites, or too much friction or conflict, or what you think is like, whatever you're fearing right now, okay? That person is a lot more forgiving than you're expecting. Because also remember, you have the Charity card. Okay, I think this person is more open-minded and forgiving than you think that they are. And I think even then, though, even if they weren't forgiving and open-minded, you still didn't really fumble as bad as you think you did. Okay, so just keep an open mind, pile 2. Keep an open eye out for some choice being offered to you in the future regarding this, okay? I am going to just close out your reading with just one little extra part of it. I'm going to ask if Spirit can provide more about what the choice is about, because I want you to walk away from this reading feeling empowered to kind of know like what's coming down the pipeline with that. So, Spirit, could you tell me, please, what's the choice about that they're going to be offered? We have the Seven of Good Cheer. Beautiful. This is the Seven of Cups. Okay, this is all about pursuing our dreams and trying to find out like what is the best option for us. Pile 2, because not only did you get the Two of Swords, but the Seven of Cups, they're both kind of like choices cards. I think you'll almost be spoiled for choice. You're going to have like a lot of different options available to you, more than just like one or two. Okay. And then we have the Ten of Wands reversed, releasing a burden. Okay, so pile 2, a burden is going to be released upon you with this choice. So say if it is like a job interview, obviously like maybe the release of the burden will be the release of like not worrying about where your next paycheck is coming from, just for an example, things like that. And then last but not least, we have the mistletoe, very interesting, which is Lovers reversed. So very interesting, because sometimes the Lovers reversed can mean either like a lack of a choice, but it can also literally mean like a relationship, because we think of that when we think of lovers, right? And so that almost tells me not only is it like a relieving of a burden and being spoiled for choice, pile 2, but I almost want to say, here, one moment, I'm gonna tap in really quick. It's very odd. They're saying it's like bringing you away from a bad relationship with somebody else. Or like a bad, like the relieving of a burden from a bad, like someone that you don't sync with this person that you do, that you didn't expect to actually get along with as well as you do. Or same thing too, it's like away from, like particularly like if it's a job, pile 2, like a job offer, there's something about it that's bringing you away from a bad relationship that could have occurred had you not been given this choice. Very interesting. But yeah, just be assured though, pile 2, especially with that Ten of Wands reversed being the central card, it's going to bring a lot of pressure off of your shoulders, especially if you have been fearing a lot recently. Okay. Let's see here. I think that is everything, but let me just check here. I want to make sure I don't miss any messages for you. I want to say they're also telling me, pile 2, that it's moving you away from what you feel is like a forced choice into a choice that you made of your own volition, or like out of your own will. Like, I feel like maybe you were fearing having to make a certain choice, but this is going to drive you into making a choice out of actual desire rather than out of feeling like this is what I have to do out of necessity, is part of the deal too. And that will also relieve a burden off of your shoulders. So there's probably even more choices than you're expecting there, yeah, with the 7 of Cups. So just a gorgeous reading, pile 2 here. So expect the blessing of being offered more choice than you expect, and the blessing of fear being released, and things going better than you expect with whoever this person is, okay? Or whatever the situation is specifically for you. Expect charity from the universe, like going back to your pile leader, okay? So if you liked the reading, if it resonated with you, please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. That helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for you and others in the future. And as is tradition on the channel, pile 2, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about an important message that will bring you serenity. As you recall, the pile leader you chose was number 20, Work, from Helper Guides. So right off the bat, pile 3, I'm drawn to the intuitive message from your spirit team here about something you really poured a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into. Something that you've really been trying to get to work. I mean, hence the title of the card. And I feel like you have not been seeing the fruits of your labor yet, or like you're looking forward right now at the time that you're viewing this reading, just praying that it works out the way that you expect, okay? Because this particular imagery with this card is literally, it's like blood running down their hand to grow this new thing. It's literally like just putting your own deepest energy into something to hope that it works, that nurtures it to life, right? So that's kind of what I feel like is the theme of this particular message. So it seems like they want to bring you a message forward of serenity regarding the situation of whatever it is that you've been pouring like blood, sweat, and tears into recently. But let's glean more details, of course. We have other cards to pull. So to begin the reading, let's start with your oracle cards. We have the Power of Surrender cards here. So Spirit, coming forward for pile 3, could you guide us to the right cards to explain more about what you want to say regarding this blood, sweat, and tears situation maybe that they've been pouring themselves into? I have a feeling that the reading is going to be about how this is actually going to come to fruition in a way that you're not expecting. Pile 3, that's kind of just the intuitive hit I'm getting. Beautiful. We have surrender, frustration, and I'll read the bottom here. It says, frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you can approach the situation more calmly. Okay, so I think part of the blood, sweat, and tears that we've been talking about is you just being fed up with something. You're really frustrated. You're like, oh my God, I can't stand this anymore. I just want this thing to actually get off the ground, or I want it to just, this obstacle to get, the heck out of the way. And it seems like maybe it's to the point of that it's even been aggravating you, pile 3, because you're like, part of it is I'm hearing that it's like multiple obstacles have just been kind of getting in your way. And that's also part of the frustration, because not only is it like you having to put out a fire in this area, but it's like a fire here, a fire there, a fire here, over here, way over there. And it's just like trying to put everything out at once. And you're like, oh my God, how the heck am I going to get through this? How am I going to surrender this frustration to make everything work out the way that it is supposed to? Okay, so your spirit guides are acknowledging that for you today, is that they get it. They're like, oh my God, I know life has been just a pain in the butt for you recently, pile 3. I completely understand. So they're acknowledging you with that. Okay, let's grab the last oracle card to get some more details. Okay, especially with all the red too in your reading we have. Oh, I have a lot of green. Oh, beautiful. We have 14, assurance. Which is interesting because we have the theme of one side is winter and one side is... Well, actually, they're all 4 seasons. I just realized that. So we have spring, summer, fall, and winter. It's like a cycle here. So it almost speaks to me of just like the cycle of life always being a guarantee that things change, right? Just like the cycle of the year of, we always know spring turns into winter, winter into spring, spring into summer, summer to fall, and then back to winter again, of course, after the autumn. And so it's assurance that things go in cycles, pile 3. I know, and they acknowledge this, things have been really frustrating for you. It just seems to be like a certain time of your life where you're going to go through, and you've already been going through it, so I'm not really telling you anything new here. I'm not predicting struggle for you. In fact, what I'm predicting here is the struggle is going to be over, but they're saying right now, you're going through that hard time, just like we all have hard times in certain eras of our life. But this is the assurance they're saying of the seasons changing metaphorically within the situation that you're in your life, okay? So right now, you might be in a little bit of a winter mode, technically, metaphorically speaking, in terms of things are a little rough, things are tough, things maybe are a little bit more barren in terms of abundance and blessings coming forward and maybe blockages in your way. But then, pile 3, we know after the winter is the spring, the thaw, things opening up, things growing finally, even with, the imagery of the work card that you picked as your pile leader, right? That thing that you really want to get going into, that you've been pouring blood, sweat, and tears and probably a lot of energy and time into, right? And maybe worry and frustration, like we said, too. Finally growing in the spring. That's coming soon. Okay. Maybe even literally if you're watching this at the time that I'm uploading it, right? Because this is uploaded in December, which is winter here, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. So, yes, be assured, pile 3. Things will change. Things will get better. Life always goes in cycles of ups and downs. And after the down that you've been in, now it's going to finally go up again. So that's part of the message of Serenity that they want to talk to you about. However, the devil is in the details, right? So part of what I want to ask them is with tarot cards today, part of the tarot reading, right? What is really going on? Let's glean some more details and kind of just the overall trajectory and story of this frustration, the issues that you've been having, and how it resolves. So Spirit, 5 cards around the story of what's going on. Thank you. Okay, we got 1. So the first card they pulled forward was the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the Knight of Swords is someone that's trying to take action logically with something or the way that they speak, okay? Reaching out to people, trying to think through a problem logically, okay? Also with the sleigh, it's like a heavy burden behind them with this particular depiction of the Knight of Swords. Trying to just pull along and get through the snow with the hard times, okay? And then we have the Two of Wands, which is planning for the future. We have someone who is writing Christmas cards, right, with this particular depiction. But she's dreaming of the future. She's talking to people about the future. So this tells me that what you've been pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into, pile 3, is really closely linked with a dream of yours. And maybe even just dreaming of it helps you get through the hard times, okay? Then we have Strength. Beautiful. We have, it looks like Santa with a reindeer. Okay. And the Strength card, being the core of the matter, is about having courage, about having willpower to keep going even when times are tough, especially when you even think of like reindeer, because they're very, very hardy animals. I think just deer in general are very hardy animals in the winter when things are scarce. They eat bark even when they have to. Doesn't sound like a very tasty meal, but it gets them through the winter so that they can actually make it to the spring and be, fruitful, throughout the spring and then the summer, of course, things like that. And so really what your spirit guides are saying is this moment in time, pile 3, is a very good testament to your strength and your willpower. And they want you to pat yourself on the back for that, because this is not easy, okay? Maybe you don't pat yourself on the back enough for what's going on, for all that blood, sweat, and tears, plural, that you've been pouring into this. Like how often do you pat yourself on the back for everything that you've been going through and enduring, pile 3? Okay, that's a good question to ask yourself. So the heart of the matter is they want you Remember how hardy you are, how tough you are for everything that you're going through, and you're surviving, okay? It's not easy. And then we have the Six of Swords reversed, okay? So, very interesting. Sometimes that indicates something about moving on. Reversed, it's like a lack of or an inability to move on somewhere, but let's get more context with the final outcome card. We have the Three of Swords. Okay, so yeah, that speaks to me, pile 3, of the pain that you've been going through recently. Literally, it's like the canes or the swords stabbing through the mushroom, just trying to pop up through the snow, because it's like, hey, winter's over, right? And then gets kind of stabbed, so it's like, oh no, I'm in pain, right? Because that's what the Three of Swords means. So they're acknowledging, yes, there has been pain because of an inability to, I think the hardship that you've been going through is like maybe you're trying to move somewhere or you're trying to move forward. There's some sort of momentum or physical, like either moving your home or like moving a job or some sort of thing like that you've not been able to get to because things have just been so tough, or like you have other things you got to do first before you can realize that dream of like moving forward, okay? And right now you're on the path to pain, and you've been feeling that already, pile 3. You're like, oh God, this has been a pain in my butt. I'm really stressed out. I'm just kind of sick of this and I want things to get better. And like I said, they're already assuring you things are going to get better, pile 3. It's going to be great. You're going to be able to surrender your frustration. But I do want to ask some extra questions for you because I want to see more about, like, how does the pain change? What fixes it? What's the assurance that they're really giving you? And, like, how does it come about? I'm also just going to take a break to sip my tea here. My voice is just a touch scratchy from the season, right? From talking and recording a lot, and also just sickness in general. It's that time of year, right? So, Spirit, coming forward for my lovely pile 3, could you please tell me, how does the pain change? What enables them to surrender their frustration? What's the assurance you're giving them? What fixes things? Okay, so for sure, beautiful. Okay, So I'll talk about this as the Tower reversed in a second, but this is a very good sign that it's reversed, pile 3. It is a fantastic sign to get that reversed. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands reversed. All right. So I think part of it is, yeah, like a lack of, it's like avoiding a disaster with, let's get the last card for context. We have the Seven of Wands, which is like feeling defensive or surrounded. Okay, so pile 3, what I'm seeing here in terms of how does the pain change, okay? There's some sort of event coming where you avoid the worst case scenario or like the bad outcome that you fear with this because of the presence of the Tower reversed. You're avoiding that lightning strike, so to speak, from the heavens, okay? That disaster of what you think is like the worst case scenario. So they're reassuring you that if you're worrying that things are going to get like to the absolute worst, pile 3, they're not, okay? You're going to be able to keep things steady and keep things going, okay? And 2, in areas of your life where you've been feeling almost kind of surrounded or defensive, the Seven of Wands here even kind of reminds me of like maybe there's like multiple problems that have been piling up, or like the fires you've literally been having to put out because, I mean, literally the 7 of Candles are like 7 fires, okay? It's like 7 different problems you've been having to put out, and you're like, how the heck do I feel so surrounded, I feel so unprepared, I'm just trying to get this thing off the ground and get this going, right? And so it's avoiding a disaster both with being able to put all these fires out that you've had to kind of feel defensive and trying to, protect everything with. And then 2, with the Queen of Wands here, very interestingly, we have, she's reversed. And so that tells me that it's almost like you've been feeling a lack of confidence lately. And that speaks back to the Strength card being the central card over here from the first spread. I think part of what will bring this to fruition, pile 3, is if you feel more confident in yourself. Okay? Because right now, as she's reversed, it's almost telling me that, like, you don't feel confident that you're going to be able to avoid the worst outcome because it's like a lack of like belief in your own ability, because it feels like things have just not been going right so far. But it's not so much you, pile 3. I feel like it's a lot of outside circumstances out of your control, even though you might be taking it a little personally, like, oh, like something goes wrong and you're like, oh no, that reflects badly on me. But actually, pile 3, they're telling you to be more confident with that Queen of Wands reversed, okay? Like, embody her energy more to flip that into like the upright, positive energy or version of herself, okay? Because you are going to avoid the worst outcome with the Tower reversed, okay? It's going to be good. It's going to be fine. Okay, and you're going to be able to put out the fires. But I think the key or the ticket, and I'm going to draw just one more card of clarity on that Queen of Wands reversed because I'm curious. I think the key or the ticket, though, with that, though, is more so your own confidence in yourself than anything else, okay? It'll help you get through better. Spirit, could you give me, like, one card to clarify the Queen of Wands reversed? What's the ticket to avoiding the disaster? Like, what's the ticket to them putting out all these fires? Like, what fixes all this pain? Oh, the 6 of Pentacles. Very interesting. Fairness. Charity. Which is interesting because that was pile 2's leader, was Charity today. Perhaps if you were also drawn to pile 2, feel free to view that reading as well if you would like to. But yeah, the 6 of Pentacles is about charity or fairness, or things being distributed equally. Things being of equilibrium in terms of the material world. So I think pile 3, it's like confidence in your own ability to be fair, which sounds odd on the surface. Or it's something along the lines of you finally writing that energy of being more confident because you realize that the balance skills are going to fix themselves and the universe will start throwing you more bones rather than like monkey wrenches in your plans, okay? Because specifically, like, the term monkey wrench is coming in here. Like, I think those are all like the fires that you've been worrying about putting out. And then finally it's like, oh, breath of relief. Things are fair again to you, okay? So it's almost not so much a confidence that you need to spark yourself, although that might help a little bit, pile 3, just to believe in your ability more and believe in your strength, like we said here earlier with the example of the strength card with the reindeer, right? But part of it, too, is the universe righting itself for the things that are out of your control that will help you realize, oh, this wasn't so much my fault. This was more just a winter period of my life, like you were using that metaphor earlier. And then it moves into the more fair spring, when things are more abundant, when there's less problems, okay? And then you'll feel that spark again of confidence of, oh, okay, I avoided the worst. Actually, things aren't so bad. And now I can take a deep breath knowing the universe finally threw me that bone instead of that monkey wrench, like we said. And I can surrender my frustration, okay? And that thing that I've really been trying to bring about beneath all of the problems in the way will come to fruition like a seed in the spring that needed to hibernate during the harsh cold of winter before it could come to fruition. Okay. So, very beautiful reading, pile 3. So just to summarize everything, whatever issues you've been having with either bringing a dream to life or like a certain goal to fruition, that seems to have been like a lot of obstacles in your way. You're going to avoid worst case scenario. Excuse me. Avoid worst case scenario because of your own strength that you should believe in, and because the universe will finally throw you a bone that will help you put out all those fires. And main theme here too, hearkening back to reassurance here from the assurance card, your spirit guides are saying it's going to be okay. Just hold on a little bit longer, and then that spring will come after these hardships, okay? Through your own merit too, okay? Because they're emphasizing strength, heart of the matter, okay? You have the power to get this done, pile 3. They believe in you, okay? So that is your reading for today, your reading of Serenity. So I hope it did bring you peace and serenity, maybe a smile to your face. If you liked the reading and if it resonated with you, please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, pile 3, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day of many fires put out and disasters averted, right? More peace on your face and just in your life in general. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye.